Hey, Happy New Year. I want to give you a quick introduction to some of what we're going to be doing this year as a way of bringing us together, getting us on the same page, helping to orient our life together this year. And I want to set it up with a quick story. When I went into my sophomore year of college, I had to take I transferred schools, and so I had to take a math placement test, and it turned out it had been a while since I had taken a math class, and I was surprised that I actually had to take a math prep class that didn't count towards my GPA, that didn't count for credits, but I had to take it just to take a basic math class. And I was a little bit frustrated because I thought I knew math pretty well. I had gotten to pre-calculus in high school, but it had been a while. And it turned out that through school I had gotten by on just sort of knowing it, but I had never really stopped or spent the time to understand it. But what I decided to do there my sophomore year in this prep class was to not just skim by it just to get it over, but to really understand the basics, the foundations, so that when I got into these math classes that I needed to take for credit and for a grade, I would understand the foundations and not just lean on my past knowledge. And so I had a number of opportunities to really understand what I was doing. I had my teacher who would lecture each week and who was then a resource for questions and trying to understand. I had my textbook, and so I committed to reading my textbook every week on the chapter that we were covering, the contents that we were covering. I had the assignment, the homework that was being assigned, and then I had the questions that were bonus, the questions that were in the book but that my teacher didn't assign. And so I had committed through that class to do those four things: to listen to the lectures intently, to read the book thoroughly, to do my homework and to try to understand what I was doing, and then to do the bonus work just to further ingrain those contents in me so that I could understand. This is what we're trying to do this year as a church. We are getting back to the basics, you might say. The basics that some of us have just skipped entirely as we've pursued Jesus and attempted to know God. Basics that maybe we've skimmed, sort of read through and sort of have a faint idea of what's there. Basics that maybe we haven't gone back to in over a decade. And so we kind of know what's there, but we don't really understand what's there and how that informs our faith in Jesus. And basics that really are the foundation. And these basics are what we find in the first five books of the Bible: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. What's known as Torah, or the instruction, or the Pentateuch, the first five books of the Bible, and we'll actually also do Joshua near the end of the year. But we have a number of ways for you to engage so that you can do more than just hear and learn something. You can do more than just know that something's there, know about something, but so that you can move to a place of deep understanding, so that you can then learn how to apply these instructions, these texts to your life as they apply to your faith in Jesus. And so here are where the options that you have. Derek has created a reading plan so that through this year, you have the opportunity to read in a guided way with questions most days through the first six books of the Bible, three times each. And you'll get some more information on kind of how that will look. But if we join together and we read these together, we have a sense of accountability, and we're kind of tracking in the same ways and are able to talk about these texts with each other. So that's the first way. The second way is that you would then be engaged in a small group. This is the place where then you are beginning to discuss these texts and these passages and what you're reading, and your questions and answers at a deeper level, and with a group of people who've also been reading and studying and learning and praying. And then when you come and participate in worship on Sunday, you've read, you've reflected, you've studied, you've attempted to understand, you've discussed with a small group of people, and now hopefully in the reading of the word and in my attempt to interpret these passages for us, Sometimes we'll take small chunks, sometimes we'll take big chunks, and I'll attempt to give us a larger framework for how to read this, how to understand what's going on here. And so all of these different sort of levels working together ought to bring us to a place where these 5, 6 books that open up the Bible really become solid for us. And as we read the rest of the scriptures, which are rooted in these first books, we have a sense of what's going on and how they're related, and what their backstory is. So I hope that you are looking forward to this year. There are a lot of opportunities for you to grow as a disciple, and perhaps even to invite someone else who may be open to faith to come and to learn about our God, to learn about who He is, and what He has made us for, and what it might mean to follow Him. So, Happy New Year.